Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Hope you're doing okay. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Pleasure to have you here, as always. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Right at the start of this one, I want to quickly say, okay, just really quickly want to say, this stream was very kindly sponsored by Universal Pictures. They reached out and they were like, hey Milo, we're releasing a film called Mortal Engines on December 14th. You can buy tickets down below if you want to. And I was like, hey, I read those books like a couple of years ago when I was a little bit younger, and I loved them. And so this would be a perfect opportunity for me to promote something that I actually really like. Like, I thought those books were awesome. I remember being a little kid, looking at, well, not a little kid, I was like 16 or something, I think. I looked at the bookshelf in my mum's house, and I was like, hey, there's this book here that I've seen loads of times of this massive city on wheels just chilling on the bookshelf. Might as well give it a read, and yeah, I got hooked on them and thought they were awesome. And the film is coming out now, December 14th, like I said. There's a link down below, so thank you to them for supporting me and letting me live my dream of making YouTube videos for all of you guys. Without them, this sort of thing couldn't happen. So thank you to Universal Pictures. We'll be talking about them in a little bit as well. For now, though, the plan is to talk a little bit about DLC1, okay? So I'm going to be jumping in with JC, I'm going to be jumping in with Chopper, and we're going to be talking about all of the kind of weirdness that's going on with DLC1 for Black Ops 4 Zombies. So I've got my chat up, I've got my donation alert thingies up as well. For Devo just donated a 2, thank you so much, brother. Let me jump in with the other lads. Hey, buds, how's it going? Hi, guys.
Heyo.
How is life? So
somewhere.
Yeah, life is somewhere, dude. So yeah, hold on, let me just make sure that I talk over the intro cutscene. So the goddamn 9 intro always gets claimed by Activision. It's so annoying. So
bro, hit me up. Let me join your game, brother.
No, absolutely not, dude. You're not joining the game. Banned, bro.
Rejected.
What I want to start off doing today is explain what exactly is happening with the last couple of weeks, and then also with what happened earlier today. And we're going to keep our opinions out of it to begin with. And like, I just want to focus on the hard facts, on what exactly has happened, what the kind of strategy has been, and all that sort of thing. Okay, so
neutral vibes.
We're starting off with the neutral vibes. I'm joined by JC and Chopper. And
hi guys.
Lex is Disneyland, so he couldn't make it.
God bless his soul.
Bless the man. Yeah. DLC1 coming out in less than 24 hours, and literally it's what's it called? Just Disneyland is being prioritized like straight away. So JC, what would you say was the beginning of this DLC like starting to bubble up as being a possibility? What would you say? How do you say? Would you say that happened?
Like when I first heard about this DLC?
Yeah.
I would say, unfortunately, I heard about it through people sharing links everywhere.
Oh,
or leaks.
So it got, so it got leaked to you?
Yeah, it's just especially when you're a content creator as well. Like people will tweet stuff when when there's leaks. People will tweet you like actual like photos and stuff, and you're just like, no. And that was like I would say like we had the idea that there would be DLC in December because I remember talking with you.
Yep.
And you know, we've talked a lot about how, all right, well, the game came out a month earlier, so that most likely means the DLC season's probably a little bit earlier than normal, and we got like a trailer for Horizon Drac way in advance of the DLC coming out. So we're like, all right, we had to have seen, like, I thought there would be a trailer like 2 weeks ago, like, or maybe not 2 weeks ago, but like a week ago.
Yep.
Or something like that.
Same here.
And I was like expecting some teases and stuff for it. So like I had the idea that there was a DLC on the way very soon, but in terms of actually hearing anything about it, like most of it has just been through people leaking information.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So I was actually expecting you to say this morning, just because I think that even with the leaks, a lot of people didn't know this was coming out, and like a lot of you in the chat right now.
Probably, I'll say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. I didn't know this was happening at all. I knew it was. I had a feeling it was coming out.
Oh, okay,
like,
gotcha.
I was thinking end of December. I was thinking like end of December.
Okay.
But like in terms of it coming out tomorrow, apparently.
Yep.
I have exams right now. I have no idea what's going on. I woke up really late today and I saw all the chaos and I was like, what is going on? And then like I just, we were all talking. We're like, I was so shocked.
So
like,
let me explain then a little bit about so there have been some leaks sort of bubbling around for a little bit, and those leaks have come from the game. So basically, the way it worked is that in the game they patched in stuff for the DLC a week ago, I think, and so people just had certain things popping up in their game, like little images here and there, and so people were talking about
character models, yeah.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah, I don't think I saw those.
Yeah.
But the front cover essentially of the map definitely got leaked early, and so people knew that there was something happening, right? There was some suspicious stuff going on. We just didn't really know exactly what. And we all kind of assumed, because there was no trailer, that would mean that there would be a map coming a bit later, but it just wasn't ready yet. And now, today, things have been completely turned on their heads, because as of this morning, or actually it was like about midday UK time, like roughly midday UK time, the DLC1 map called what, Day of the Night? No, Night of the Dead. Sorry.
No, Dead of the Night.
Dead of Night.
Oh my god, it's so confusing.
It's literally like I saw somebody tweet at me, and they're like, they used the Uno reverse card on Nocturne and Toten.
Yep,
it's
literally. So
yeah,
Dead of the Night was uploaded to the PlayStation Store if you were in Australia, and you were essentially able to just download it if you had the Black Ops Pass. And so, like, thousands of people will have the map now. They'll be playing the map as we speak, like a whole bunch of them. And that's pretty weird, right? Seeing as there is no DLC trailer yet. So
what a timeline.
People are playing the map, and like the last time this happened was Attack of the Radioactive Thing.
Yes.
We are comparing DLC1 of Black Ops 4 to Attack of the Radioactive Thing.
You may be correct.
It's gotten to this point, ladies and gentlemen. We've arrived.
I'm still
Just
I'm
how?
still a little confused, to be honest.
So
I woke up and I still feel like I'm not awake yet. Please tell me I'm still asleep.
It's just
Right?
a really bad dream, everybody. It's fine. We're gonna wake up in like 20 minutes.
I know, right? So basically, it was on the Australian PlayStation Store, and so people were playing the map, and people started streaming the map because it was out on the PlayStation Store, which means it's public, like it's fine to stream. But then, after a couple of hours, Activision striked people that were streaming it, even though it was on their PlayStation Store, and so those people now have lost the ability to live stream on their channels, because that's what happens if you get a strike on YouTube. It actually prevents you from live streaming. So that happened, and everyone was like, well, why is, like, what? What's going on? And then Treyarch tweeted as of like about an hour ago or so, saying that there is a DLC trailer that is coming, but it's coming tomorrow. And the way they worded it makes it sound like it's coming tomorrow and the map is also coming tomorrow. So they uploaded it to PSN early for Australia, and
I don't know if it's entirely. I don't know like the whole early thing. If it's a lot of people were like, saying a bunch of stuff, and it's like I have no idea. Like I don't know the basics of how things get uploaded to PSN, so I don't know if it's either. A PSN. Like it could be a PlayStation thing, possibly, or like PlayStation screwed up.
Right. Yeah.
I just want to throw it out there. It might not be Treyarch screwing up in that regard.
That is definitely
it could be a
point.
PlayStation thing.
Yeah, because like essentially, I think it's now gone from the PlayStation Store. So
yeah,
that would I guess indicate that it was definitely never meant to be there in the first place. It's like, it's not like they were meaning to release it today and they just did it in the wrong way. It's just that it wasn't meant to be there at all, right? So I guess PlayStation could have messed it up. The question that I have kind of based on that is, I'm sort of just surprised that they haven't done that in the past then. Like, I guess this could just be a freak event. But anyway, we'll get into like more opinion-y stuff later. So it seems like the plan from Treyarch and Activision's point of view was that they didn't want to release a trailer. They didn't want to market the zombies map. They didn't want to talk about any Black Ops Pass content for DLC1, and instead, they only actually wanted to discuss the free stuff. So that's what Operation Absolute Zero is now. We actually have a better idea now of what that entails, and it's basically all of the free stuff coming to Blackout. That's Operation Absolute Zero. There's some multiplayer changes. There's the daily calling system. There's the Black Ops Authenticity Stamp system. So there's various things in there. That's all part of the Absolute Zero event, but the DLC itself is not, and you have to pay for that, except it's almost like, well, I mean, that's a whole nother detail, right? And that's that it seems like you can only get the DLC if it's in the Black Ops Pass. Like, as opposed to buying it separately like you would with normal DLC. And the reason I say that is that when people were downloading it from the PSN store, they would basically look it up as its own unique DLC download. And that is not the sort of thing that you'd expect if it was a thing that you could get standalone. Well, okay, actually, let me be clear. As in, they were looking for a unique download that was part of the Black Ops Pass. They were not looking for a unique download that was its own map pack that you could pay $10 for, sort of thing. So, I guess that's kind of like a summary of what's happened. Would you say that's like a fair analysis? Is that basically they thought it was going to be a surprise, but then they leaked it themselves last week?
I'm guessing it was going to be a surprise. Like, I can't see any other like reasoning behind it other than I don't know if you want to get into like opinions and everything yet, but like
yeah, sure. Like if you want to jump in.
I just want to say, like, I have a feeling what they were I have no, honestly, at this point, this could be completely wrong. I have no idea. But the only thing that I can make sense of why there is no trailer or anything is I have like, there's just a gut feeling in me that it was Treyarch wanting to do something really, like, in their minds, really cool, where they're like, okay, people have been asking us for zombies content and updates and like new events on zombies like crazy. I mean, that has basically been what we've all been talking about for like weeks. Like, there's been the biggest drought I felt like ever in terms of actual like new stuff to talk about in zombies.
Yeah, it's definitely felt that way for sure.
Right. And I feel like Treyarch, this is, again, I have no clue if this is what they're actually trying to do or not. But maybe they were thinking, hey, let's have a awesome surprise for them this week, and let's just drop an entire map with like let's just do it differently. We're not even gonna have a trailer. Let's just drop it out of nowhere, because they've been asking for us for new zombies content for weeks and weeks, and here it is, and like that's gonna make so many people happy.
I have a rebuttal to that.
Yeah, go for it.
It didn't work that way.
Not really rebuttal, I guess, just like a different point of view. I don't think that a like surprise like this can really be done, because if they're gonna market like, hey, you're getting this content around this time, like this is what you've paid for in the Black Ops Pass, like you've literally given us money to know what you're getting. Like, surprises don't really.
That's
I'm not.
I'm
just like, keep in mind, I'm not saying that was the best decision at all.
Sure.
I'm just explaining why I think they made that. Like, I'm explaining like this is what I think Treyarch tried to do.
Yeah.
I completely disagree with what they tried to do.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
If that's what they tried to do, I completely disagree with it, because that's.
So how about this? Yeah. So we'll take a second now to let's just think about what exactly all of the options are for what Treyarch could have been trying to do here, right? Like, oh, is game sound too loud, guys? Okay, hold on, give me 2 seconds, I can fix that. One of you say something while I do this.
Hello. Hello. Is there a zombies map?
There we go. Okay.
Hello?
Oh, hey Pat, how's it going, dude? There we go. Game sound should be a bit lower now, guys. Sorry if that was too loud. So, all of the options for what Treyarch could have been planning here, right? A, they wanted it to just be a surprise because we've been asking for content. They hadn't mentioned it yet, and I mean, the thing that gets me is like, when has there ever been a surprise in zombies, right? The only time that I can think of to memory in the way that I'm thinking of now is Zombies Chronicles. That's like the only thing. Because that was like, the way that they did that with it was just like, Jason just appeared at your house, and then it was like, okay, yeah, it's releasing like in a week or something, by the way. Like,
yeah.
that was very abrupt, but even that was leaked so many times.
Behind it, yeah.
Yeah, that was so many times. And that was one of the best kept secrets, I feel like, is like the actual reveal for that.
Yeah.
So
it was an actual debate. Like people were hyped of the idea, but it wasn't like a known thing for sure.
Right. I mean, like
until I think there was like a GameStop listing or something, and then that's when people had an idea.
But that's the thing is, even then, even with the little things that were going on, people didn't believe that he'd come to your house. Like they actually thought they were accusing you of being a barefaced liar. Like you're fully being accused of lying.
Dude, I'll never forget that, dude. There's people on like literally there's Reddit posts saying that it was like a last ditch effort of me to like save my channel.
Right? Yeah.
I was like, dude, it's a last ditch effort, dude. He doesn't care anymore, man. He's just lying. It's like, what are you talking about, man?
Yeah, it's insane how like accusatory people got over that, but that just goes to show that did really shock people that's the way that things turned out, right? And I just feel like. Oh,
well, I mean,
Pat wants into the Discord. Okay.
I don't think necessarily. Go
ahead.
Like, I could see them doing this. Like, I really want to get into like, I think I'm ready to get into whether or not we think it's a good idea or not.
Okay.
If that was what they're going for, because it's like, I could see them doing something like this because Treyarch likes being like secretive and stuff, and they like I mean, Zombies itself was a surprise when it came out originally, so like I wouldn't put it past them to do a surprise like this. But the issue with me is like that we've all been talking about for like a month now, actually longer than that, probably for my entire existence, the past 2 years of my life, of just saying that there needs to be like way more like communication on like when things are happening, right? Because zombies could be like huge in terms of like community interaction and growth, but like there's just these drought periods where like we don't know what's going on.
Right, the game has like so much potential, and it just kind of like fades out.
It has a
roller
coaster, and it's like a roller coaster instead of like just a constant like you know what I mean? It's instead of a constant flow, it's like a roller coaster of when stuff happens and when stuff doesn't happen.
You know when you're on a roller coaster and it's going crazy, and then you get to the top of the slope or whatever, and you're like really high up, but instead of just like edging forward, it just stops, and you're like, well, I'm not scared anymore because I'm stationary, like I'm not moving. There's nothing happening here, so like the thrill and the fear factor is gone. Whereas even if you're just creeping forward a tiny little bit, you still feel like you're getting closer to that edge, and you're like, oh no, it's coming. Right. There's that roller coaster moment again. So
see, for me, it's like if BO4 would have like, you know, I'm you know me, I try to be very positive about things, like, and just enjoy it for what it is. Like I like BO4 as a base game, but obviously, like, no matter what I think, it did not go over well zombies wise with the community at all. Right? It's just that just can't be debated at all. It just didn't. So Zombies is in a place where like there needed to be like a home run of DLC1. Like DLC1 needs to be like a home run experience to get people back on board. And I think making if that was a decision that they made of like we're gonna do it as a surprise, even though I I think it's ballsy as hell. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
I still feel like what's needed is direct communication on what they're doing to revamp zombies going forward, because everybody's still pissed.
Right.
I was gonna say, like, there's a right way and a wrong way to do the surprises. You remember, like in BO3, after we'd get like a base map, then every once in a while we'd get a music trailer just out of nowhere that was like supplemental to the content.
Yeah, those were
like
cool.
We were already happy with what was given to us, and then we get some additional extra surprises, like anything that with like surprises on top of what we already have and are happy with. Like I think that's the correct way to do it. But to surprise,
people aren't happy,
to like play catch up with content that is already owed and then act like that's a surprise doesn't work.
Yeah,
it's like if the base game would have been like let's just say the base game was a home run, like everybody on Earth was on board, loving it to death. This probably would have been a real like this could be a really cool thing in some aspects, because it'd be like, oh my god, they just dropped a map out of nowhere. What? Like that's crazy. But instead, it's just like everybody has already I wouldn't say everybody, but I would say the general community for the most part has a negative vibe on everything. So releasing a map out of nowhere with like no talk about it or no marketing or nothing to even try to persuade the community back in their favor more, is a very weird choice. And I'll be completely real with you. As a content creator, I am absolutely terrified right now that was that was the choice. I am,
Just hold that thought for sure. One thing I want to quickly say there as well is on that note of like bringing people back. I think that it's no mystery to all of us that the launch of Black Ops 4 did not go the way that Treyarch hoped it was going to go, right? Like, there were clearly a lot more problems than they anticipated, and I'm, at this point, pretty confident that those blue screen problems that they had for the first month or whatever of release, they were probably just not there when they were testing them. Like, that is my guess, because otherwise, I just can't think of a scenario where Jason would, like, lie to our faces about people going to round 100 or whatever.
Like something happened that caused the issue. I don't know what it is.
Because it would be obvious that we would find out, right? So it can't have been that he was just like fibbing for the launch window, and then it was all gonna become blatantly obvious afterwards. There must have been something in the live environment that meant that it acted unexpectedly, right? And I think that, so clearly from that, the game did not behave in the way that Treyarch wanted, right? Now, you'd imagine the response to that would be to play it safe. Right? It would be to do something that might be a little less flashy. It might be a little less kind of like, whoa, that's like groundbreaking stuff. And instead, it could have been anything nice and vanilla, just to start reeling people back in. Because once you sort of scare everyone off, especially this early on in the game's life cycle, regardless of whether the content's good or not, the most important thing is just to start trying to pull people back however you can. And the reason I like made all my videos in the beginning is because I felt like not only were we getting an awful situation, right? Not only was it completely terrible what was actually going on in the game, but Treyarch was saying nothing about it, and other YouTubers were saying nothing about it really either. It was just empty. And so I made my videos saying, it's ridiculous that it's so silent right now, and we need to be communicated to, and we need someone to talk to us about these problems. And their response straight away, to their credit, was that they said, okay, we are going to start giving you much more regular zombies updates, and we're going to start giving you more detail and things along those lines. And I feel like Treyarch like learned and understood and listened in one sense, because we did start getting more in-depth patch notes. But it then feels like they missed the other part of what everyone was saying. And that was that it doesn't just stop at getting told what the blue screen fixes are. It also needs to be the entire rest of the season being more updated. That communication is so important, right?
There needs to be, it needs to be communicated to the community. Hey, it needs to be just literally something, like, it could be one video.
Right.
Of just, hey, we messed up, we're working to fix it, and here's our plan for the season.
Yeah, and like the thing is that's
that
exactly.
Alone would have been amazing.
Yeah, that's exactly the sort of thing that we were asking Jason for at that review event when we sat down with him. We literally said, any kind of update video that you could do, it doesn't even have to be you, it could be another member of your team, just anyone, right? Just doing an update and talking to the zombies community as a zombies player, instead of talking through the kind of lens of multiplayer and Blackout like we currently have. That would be incredible. And it would make so many people feel like they were actually valued in the community.
Yeah, I remember because because they were asking us for feedback on the game, because I guess we were the first people to play it, like, because it was like
outside of a week before. I guess so. Yeah.
So like, and I remember saying, because I personally like this is a whole, I don't even want to get in this discussion because this is just a rabbit hole.
Okay, in that case, I'm gonna pause you there. I'm gonna mute for 2 seconds. Okay? Like, no, I'm pausing you, boy. Okay. I'm pausing you.
No.
2 seconds. 2 seconds. Okay, guys. So, just real quick, okay? Real quick. I said at the start of the stream, this was a sponsored stream. Universal Pictures, they reached out and they said, hey, do you want to sponsor for the stream?
Hi, guys.
I said, hell yeah, absolutely. They're releasing Mortal Engines, the movie, on December 14th. And not only did they sponsor the stream just with the sort of usual stuff, little shout out at the beginning, but also, they actually gave me 2 trailers to play. So real quick, just very quickly, I'm going to show you guys some of these trailers for Mortal Engines. You guys can let me know what you think in the comments down below. And then we'll get back to the discussion with JC, okay? So let me just hit this button real quick, and the trailer should begin.
Of the Lord of the Rings comes a groundbreaking new saga. After the war, the era of the mortal engines arose. Cities were rebuilt on wheels, and the earth became a hunting ground.
What is that? That is London. We have to shut it down.
Mortal Engines, see it in IMAX, rated PG-13.
Okay, we back. Sorry, JC, go ahead with what you're saying, JC. Sorry about that.
Okay, I was just gonna say that, like, I look, I'm not gonna be like, I'm not saying like I know everything about like what's best. It was just like an idea that I remember talking to like them about at the review event, as I was just like, I think it'd be really like beneficial, because I remember, because the first thing that we all witnessed when we played the game for the first time is we were like me personally, I was like, hey, I'm on board with what you guys did with the perks, for instance. I really like it, contrary to a lot of people. Like, I really liked it.
Yep.
And I was wanting them to do something like that for a while. But I was like, the community is absolutely going to throw a tantrum over this. Like, they're going to be mad. Yeah, and I was like, if you want to go through with this, I was basically like, if you want to go through with this, I feel like there needs to be, like, it would be really beneficial for the community's sake to make a video explaining why these changes were made. And that it would go over at least a little bit better in the community if you're going through these changes. Like, that was something I said. And then that's when we sort of, what you're talking about, we got in that conversation of like, it'd be really cool if we had something like Jeff Kaplan of Overwatch, where like there's just somebody, doesn't have to be Jason, it could be anybody, is like the communicator guy for zombies updates or explanations on why things are happening.
Right.
And they just, it could literally just be like 3-minute long. I mean, like, just imagine around launch, or let's just say a week before launch, if there's a video saying, hey, here's the gameplay changes coming to Black Ops 4 compared to BO3 zombies, and why we
can you imagine? Yeah, that would have been so nice to just like, and okay, so one thing I do want to just quickly say, because a lot of people in chat are saying this, there's a lot of people that are saying that the intro cutscene is already out. It is not officially out. So if you post a link, you're gonna get banned, and it's gonna get taken down on your YouTube channel. Like, you're gonna actually get basically banned from YouTube if you post early gameplay. So I would be very careful right now with all of that. If you go to the official Call of Duty channel, it's not out, and that means that it's not out, essentially. Okay? So I just wanted to be very clear.
Big Milo's just looking out for you guys.
Yeah.
He is
looking out.
This is not me trying to be mean or anything. I'm literally just saying, if you're saying like, oh, DLC1 intro on my channel, if Activision see it, they'll basically delete your channel. So like, tread carefully, brothers. I don't want you guys to lose your YouTube channels. That would suck, right? So the trailer is not officially out yet, and that's why I can't show it on stream. Okay.
Milo.
Yes.
Basically, to finish exactly what I was saying, because I know it's a lot, but like, basically, that was feedback that we had then, and because of BO4's, like, if BO4 was received fine, okay, whatever, it wouldn't affect things too much, maybe. Like, but because BO4 zombies wise has been received very poorly by the community.
Yep.
I feel like now more than ever we needed something like that going into DLC1, and
it's like,
instead it's like secret map.
Yeah, it's just like Jason always says. Jason literally always says, whenever he's in an interview, he's like, "Oh yeah, oh you're talking about, we're getting to the part of the conversation which is talking about like development stuff, and that's boring. So like I'll go fast or I'll like gloss over it." And every single time he says that, I'm like, Jason, that stuff is really interesting. Like it's really, really interesting, and it also means that we have.
Oh, you mean like the idea of talking about dev stuff in a video would be boring to people?
Yeah, because that's what Jason says every time. He's always like, whenever I talk about development stuff, it's like, that's the boring part. And it's like, no, it's not. That's what we want to know, dude. Like, talk about the design decisions. Talk about the choices being made in the studio. Because when something happens like the perk system, personally, I don't really care. Like, I honestly don't really care about the perk system that much. I certainly don't think it's worse than the old one. I think it's potentially equivalent. I don't think it's necessarily better. Maybe a little bit better, but I'm pretty much neutral with the perks, right? But I know for a fact that a lot of people think that the perk system is just an unnecessary change. And so at least just having him on record saying, this is a decision that we've made for XYZ reasons would mean that you'd avoid all of the speculation that ends up happening, because that causes problems as well. Because when the leaker started saying, oh, they changed the perks because they couldn't get Jug to work, that completely could have been 100% taken out of the conversation if Jason had already told us why they'd done the perks change. Like, just things along those lines.
Yeah, I don't even believe that, by the way. I think that's very... Because, like, we've talked about this a little bit before. It's like basically that post was written in a way where it's like, yeah, they didn't even care about any side effects that it would have. They just couldn't get it to work or something. It's like, that's such bullcrap. They of course think about what that would do to the gameplay if it wasn't in. Like it's just over exaggerated and it's not the full story. But like if we would have been, like you're saying, if there was like a direct update video that explained why the change was made, that would have been like that and the whole narrative of that would have been totally in Treyarch's favor.
So, and also, there's literally no downside to make a video either, because whenever Jason gets on camera, no matter what it's for, basically, like he always ends up scoring brownie points with the community, anyways. You know what I'm saying? Like it's never
super good point.
Turns into a negative kind of.
Especially before BO4 too. Before BO4, if there would have been something like that, people would have been on board with it. I'm pretty sure.
There's nothing to lose, and in my opinion, I just don't understand why there hasn't been some of that, because they can only go up with those.
That was something that I was gonna ask just a second ago. Is, can you think of literally a single reason why an update video might be a bad idea?
Zero, actually.
Like they're just like there isn't one, right? Literally the only thing that I can think of as to why an update might be a bad thing is because it would take away any surprise that they might have from something. But
the more time they waste, like when they do end up making one, it just feels like they're playing catch up again, and then that's why people might get salty, because they're like kind of they're trying to come back from a mistake that they made. Right.
It's like it goes back to the thing that I was saying before of how if things were going well right now, basically everyone would have a lot more patience for like some weird quirky marketing campaign. Everyone would be a lot more receptive to that sort of thing. But because they have not, like, Black Ops 4's launch has not gone well, it just hasn't. You cannot argue with that, because the crashes have been, like, they've been a plague on the community. They've really diminished people's experiences. You have to respond to that and do stuff in a way that is gonna be like you were saying, a home run. No matter what happens, you've got to hit that DLC1 out of the park. And I mean, another thing that I think is really worth noting here is that this DLC, like, it's standing up against Der Eisendrache, Like DE, my guy, DE is one of the best maps of all time.
Like, I just think, in my personal opinion, that it was a grave mistake to not have an ether map for DLC1, because just for the majority of people, that is make or break whether they continue and finish out the season or not.
Yep. So,
like, that was a crucial decision, which I don't really understand the decision behind that one.
Well, I think this is one thing that is that's interesting. Actually, real quick, I want to just get to, so Flopperman in the chat has just said, I thought launch was perfectly fine. Flopperman, maybe for you, bro. Okay, maybe for you. The thing is, if you were looking at the community as a whole and saying it was fine, you are ignoring all of the problems that other people were experiencing. Because, yes, like 100%, some people had an okay time, and some people didn't have issues, but there were a huge number of people that did. And it wasn't just me. I was obviously a YouTuber, so I'm like a high-profile target for people saying, oh, it's just MrRoflWaffles. But you look at everyone's streams in launch week, and it's blue screen after blue screen after blue screen, right? It's crash after crash after crash. You look at the patch notes in the first 3 weeks until I made my video, and literally all they said, the only thing they said about blue screens was, hey guys, just look for the stability improvements across all modes bullet point, and that's all we're gonna say. That's the only thing they said. And then they only said that like twice in the space of 2 weeks. So like there were clear problems at launch. I think that we can I don't even think we should even talk about that because everybody knows. Yeah, like I think we can all agree on that. And it's just the rebound needed to be a strong one, right? It really needed to be a strong one. And it's unfortunate because I don't hate the idea of a surprise DLC. Like,
no, it's a really cool idea, actually.
It's like
it's a really cool idea.
In other circumstances, I would be over the moon right now. I'd be like,
can you imagine? What? Can you imagine if Garage Krovi came out?
Dude!
Imagine like during that time period when we had nothing between Zetsubo and Garage Krovi just drops.
Yep. That would be actually bananas, dude. That would be completely
the craziest thing. Like, regardless of the hype train for Garage Krovi, which was really fun to be on. And all the trailers and everything.
Although it was short. Garage Krovi was a short one, remember? Because it had the like the little City of Blood thing.
And just the intro, pretty much, right?
Yeah. Well, no, it was
They had a little more than that.
They showed Sophia, right? They showed Sophia like
one.
It was like an image, I think they tweeted out, and they said like image, trailer coming tomorrow. And then they gave us the trailer, and then I think the map released like 5 days later or something along those lines, like something like that.
But there was at least a little more substance for it.
Yeah. But that was like.
But that would have been that's a perfect example of like when a surprise map would have worked, because it was the same sort of aspect of like we were in a drought, but but for the most part the general community still like loved BO3 because like DE and Shadows and the Giant were all like very much loved. I would say like I don't know. Shadows was a little controversial.
Yeah,
Shadows a little controversial, but DE alone like was fine. Like with the community, and like actually more than fine. So like people were like that. People would have freaked out if they just dropped a new map out of nowhere. Like that would have been insane.
That's the thing as well. Is like during that game, obviously we had that drought between Zetsubo and Garod, and Zetsubo wasn't a particularly liked map, which made the drought feel worse, right? But because the circumstances around Garod were so much less bad. Like, there was so much less stuff sort of satellite going around it, it meant that, like, the community still had that sort of patience to wait for other stuff. And, like, I for sure, I made videos being, like...
Oh, yeah, I remember.
There's, like, I made a little skit video, which was actually, I think, the first time I ever showed my, my Home Sweet Home t-shirt, like, my merch. It was like a skit video where I put Black Ops 4 in the bin because I was like, "Where's the trailer? It's still not out. I'm binning it, lads." Like that's the end.
Yeah. Like we were all dying. It's like but like I think it just proves that like.
But it was still like lighthearted. It was still like there was still.
Yeah. There wasn't a bitterness.
Right. I guess you never miss her. Yike. But this time, I think that the core thing that I keep coming back to is that Treyarch have basically burnt through. They've burnt through their reserves of everyone's patience, and when you've burnt through those reserves of patience, you can't afford to start doing some weird stuff with no trailer, and then releasing it for some people but not other people. And like, even if that wasn't their fault, it's part of the overall problem, where it's DLC1. You can't afford to get that wrong, and this is just putting it on a bad foot to begin with. Now, I want to pause real quick just because I got to get to some donations, and then we can jump into one question that I have for you guys about whether you think that this is actually gonna really hurt the map itself in the long run. But we'll get to that in just a second. Okay, so I'll mute up for 2 seconds. Guys, I missed the donations earlier on in the stream. I'm gonna get to some of those donations real quick right now. I'm just gonna give them shout outs. For Davo, I gave you a shout out already. Thank you for that donation, brother. Habiki as well with the 10. Thank you so much, Habiki. Clouds says, what's up, my dude? What's up, Clouds? How are you doing? There's Austin. What up, brother? The Crazed Gamer says, DLC1 hype, hashtag no promo. Is that like a no homo, except it's a no promo? Dr. Monty says, do you think they wanted to release a trailer on Christmas? No, I think it was always planned for a release tomorrow. That's my opinion on things. I think it was ready for release tomorrow. TSM with a 1, thanks. AJ became a member as well. Welcome, AJ. Dawn says, here's a question. Would you have been pleased with the surprise if it had gone to plan, or was it the leak that ruined it? Good question, Dawn. For me, as I was sort of just alluding to a little bit earlier on, I'd say, I think that in the circumstances surrounding launch, I wouldn't have been particularly happy with a surprise. I think that they need to be communicating and showing they can communicate right now. But that's something that I'll ask JC about in just a second, and Chopper as well. Bob says, I think they accidentally released it in Australia by accident. Yes, I think that it was not on purpose that they did that. Caleb says, no DLC or event for non-PlayStation players tomorrow. Why should I bother to play the game anymore? Caleb, you've only got to wait a week though. It used to be 30 days. Bear that in mind. Guan says, hi Milo, at least we have a fully functional DLC1. Well, we don't know that yet. It's not out yet, Guan. Thank you for the dono though. And then Monty and Dark Gaming both became members. Thank you guys. Yo!
Like to be fair, I didn't know how it worked then because I was...
So Noah just jumped into my chat and he's like, wait, there's a DLC1?
Wait, what? Wait, I thought this was a Fortnite podcast.
Dude,
that's what we're saying, Milo. We're seeing so many people in your chat saying, how does DLC work? Is it free? Like, how does it work?
Wait,
like the fact that no one knows. Like,
yeah, everybody's confused.
Like the fact that people are
Milo
is like
even I was confused because I asked you, I was like, wait, can you not buy them separately then? Because I was under the impression all the time that you could. So the fact that like us at like this echelon of being involved in the game at this level don't know that.
Yep.
And then how do we expect anybody else to know that then?
That's a very, very good point. Like, if I feel like I saw, who was it? I watched a Datto video actually the other day. Shout out Destiny 2, by the way. Activision's money is real tasty in my back pocket. So I was watching a Datto video and he was basically saying that there's certain things that have been released in the most recent Destiny update that aren't clear even for him, and he's Datto. He's like a very ingrained Destiny player. And the same problem is happening here, where like there's DLC stuff going on, but I mean, I'm sitting here like talking to you guys just before we started the stream. You told me something about how the DLC works, and I was like, wait, what? Like, I didn't even know that was a thing at all. Like, I just didn't know, and it's me. Like, how do you expect a casual player who doesn't pay attention to YouTube videos to actually understand any of what's happening right now? Like, it's a mess. It's a mess. So, I guess we should clarify how we think the DLC season works. How we like
take this with a grain of salt because I'm not 100%.
Yeah, like it's a weird scenario to be in, but I'm under the impression right now that the DLC1 map called Dead of the Night, I had to really think about that one for a minute. Dead of the Night is only available if you own the Black Ops Pass. That is as far as we understand right now. That might not end up being the case in a few months' time, and that might not be the case...
Or tomorrow.
Tomorrow, right? But as we currently understand it as a community, because they haven't told us clearly, you can only get DLC 1 if you own the Black Ops Pass. You cannot buy it for $12 or $15 or whatever you normally pay, depending on your country, your region, etc. Now...
Maybe.
if you already own the Black Ops Pass, you don't need to pay any more. It's like quote unquote free, but it's obviously not free because you've already bought the Black Ops Pass. So it's never really free, no matter how you chalk it up. Okay. Now, the thing that's confusing is that Treyarch have been talking about a lot of other content coming tomorrow that is free. So Operation Absolute Zero, which contains daily callings for zombies, it contains the Black Ops Authenticity Stamp system, it contains something else that a daily tier skip. Those 3 things are free. Okay, so those are 3 free pieces of update that really should have been in the base game, but that's another topic. They are free updates for zombies, whereas the map itself is Black Ops Pass content. So hopefully that helps, like, clarify what's going on. Have I missed anything obvious that I should mention there, do you think, guys? Hi, guys.
I think you pretty much covered it all, but
okay.
I gotta be honest, like, it feels like with that, they just have too much dip on their chip, you know? Like, and they're not able to convey it in the way that
you have the best words.
Like, we have to be the catalyst to tell people this, but that's not really how it should be.
Right. Yeah, so that's actually something that's a really, really, like, good jumping off point to another segue that I want to make, and that's that with with all the updates and stuff like that we were asking for from Jason, one of the things that he has said multiple times in the past is, like, if there's an update and I'm sitting here going, hey Jason, I'd really like if you could update people about this, his response always, and maybe he's just being sarcastic, but he says it every time, is, you do it. Like, he literally says that. He's like, why don't you make a video? And I get his thinking there, right? It's like, he can generate discussion in the community by basically avoiding saying stuff so that there's more to be explained. And it keeps almost the zombies, like, barrier to entry a little bit higher, so, like, zombies can be a little bit more of that kind of hardcore game mode. But that philosophy is completely at odds with the rest of the philosophy that they've employed in Black Ops 4. Like, there's a tutorial mode now. Jason literally said, and he was explicit when he said it, that he would never make a tutorial mode. And so, when they're going back on those sorts of things, and they're catering to the casual player base, they also need to recognize that the casual player base doesn't all watch YouTube, right? Like, they're gonna see an ad on TV for a new zombies map, and maybe they'll hear about it from their friends, but that might be it. And if they can do stuff to get some official kind of Treyarch communication into that public domain and into the kind of the community kind of discussion machine, like the churning kind of mass of everyone constantly talking about what's coming and what needs to be fixed and what they're liking and the story and everything, if he could just get his voice in there, I feel like we would be in a much more kind of positive and healthy place for the community. All right, I'm just going to drop the controller. There's my mic drop. There we go. Okay, I'm going to pick it up again now. So hi guys. As far as what we were going to say just before I went on that little break to get to those donos, and I'll get to more donations in a minute, guys. Don't you guys worry. One of the things I wanted to ask was about whether you thought this instability is a word that I don't want to use because that sounds too much like blue screens. This kind of confusion with the DLC1 release, do you think this is going to hurt the map itself in the long run?
Yes.
Yeah?
Where you go.
So basically, is the question, if I'm hearing this right, is like all the confusion that's happened right now with the scuffed release and then everybody's confused about how it works, is that going to hurt the end result of the map overall? Is it going to hurt the perception of the map, and then in like 3 months time, is this weirdness gonna mean that like our memory of the map is kind of stained by the fact that we've just got this strange stuff going on right now? Yeah, this is live, by the way, Mike, in the chat. Yeah, because like here's the thing, if people are already playing the map right now, that's already probably put a sour taste in people's mouths, and then they'll be like, well, I'm not even gonna attempt to really go hard on it on release because people have already been playing it for 12 hours or whatever. Right. And then they'll probably just take it easy, wait for somebody else to solve it. And depending on whether, maybe the map's great, like I have no idea. It could literally be the best map we've that we've ever played. I'm not even gonna discount that fact, but
yeah.
Regardless of the map quality, like the damage has already been done, like with the scuffed release and everything, and like people's memories for that negative stuff don't go away that easily.
Right. Yep. So
that's kind of what I'm worried about.
JC, are you do you feel pretty similar or?
How do I word this?
Just get it out there, brother. It's okay.
I'm trying to think of the best way to word it. I don't.
Wow.
If this map, all right, let's say this map is the best map ever made.
Okay.
All right, let's just say it's the best map ever made.
Yeah.
Even then, I don't think it's enough to get people back on board the way we want it to. I feel like the best way to get people back is to be completely marketing the map in a way of this is us, like literally.
Can I just pause there? In 2018, we're actually sitting in like a podcast style like call talking about zombies and saying, yeah, they should probably market their game. Like,
Treyarch, by the way.
All jokes aside, it's like like Destiny, for instance, with Forsaken.
Yeah, are you being paid, JC?
No, I'm not. I don't even play Destiny. Listen, this is coming from a person who doesn't even play Destiny, right?
Yeah, go for it.
I don't even play Destiny. But like I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that that entire like DLC was marketed in a way. This is not me comparing the games themselves. I don't give a crap if the game is.
You're talking about strategy, like marketing strategy.
It could be an RTS game for all I'm talking about. It's just the idea of the game was in a bad state for the most part. The community
100%.
vibes were negative. The community vibes were negative, and then they had a creator summit. Where a bunch of creators came out and basically gave them a bunch of feedback. But let's just say that like I don't even care about that, to be honest. That would be a really cool idea, but I don't really even care too much.
Sure.
The main bit is they marketed Forsaken as like, hey, we're sorry. Basically, like they marketed it in a way of like they marketed it in a way of like this is like a revamp of Destiny 2, and we hope you guys enjoy it. And we're taking in all of your feedback that you guys have been telling us for months and months to make this the sort of revitalization of Destiny 2. I don't like, no matter what you think about Destiny 2, and it is a completely different game than zombies. The way they did that is what I wanted to see for DLC1. I wanted to see them come out and have, first of all, just a like I feel like it just would have been great just to have a video saying, hey, DLC1's on the horizon, and here's what we're doing to like revitalize the zombies community, because we know launch was rough. Right. And this is us listening to feedback. And then at the end of that video, you have a tease where they're like, and also here's like a short little tease on what's in store on the horizon in the DLC1. And then you have a full blown like, you know, intro coming out later for as a trailer, the map gameplay trailer itself, and you market it. And then you'd have it being marketed from the get-go. Like if the first official thing was basically a direct communication video explaining that it was like a revamp of zombies in the sense of like community vibes. And then you had the marketing of the other stuff. I feel like that was what I wanted to see. And instead we have just, okay, here's a map.
Well, like,
and I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if they're like, you know what I mean? It's just like, it could be the best map ever, but it's like, it's just not communicated in a way that it should be. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the map comes out now and we just have this map for like, a week or whatever, the Easter egg gets solved and we're just like, all right, we still haven't even heard anything from Treyarch. Like, I don't even know. Like, that's what I'm worried about.
That's kind of what happened with IW with Radioactive Thing, is because they dropped the trailer after the map had already came out, and then by the time everything was said and done, there's like, okay, well, that was that.
Yeah. So I think it's, unfortunately, I hate to say it, because you know me, I try to stay positive as much as I can, but like, especially because the surprise didn't even go the way it was supposed to, because people are already playing it right now. They
leaked it in the game a week ago as well. So
right. Yeah. So because of all that, there is a sour taste on the community already. There has already been a sour taste on the community since launch. And there's nothing being like marketed or shown to be like this is the turnaround point as I really wanted it to happen. Even though I like Black Ops 4, but I'm just one guy, right? I'm just talking about for the community's sake.
Yep.
Like that I'm really worried now because I'm scared. DLC1 is we've talked to I think like numerous devs I think as well. And DLC1 is the most important DLC.
Oh no, yeah, I mean, like,
not DLC4, not DLC2, not DLC3. DLC1 is the DLC you have to get right.
I think
you 100%
Jason,
get right.
like if he was in the call right now, I think that he would agree with that 100%. Like because it's logical that DLC1 is going to sell your season pass because that's the point where people decide if they either A, are going to buy the season pass to save some money for the DLC, or if B, they're going to only get 1 or 2 of the DLCs and like pick and choose what they're going for, right? The difference this time is that the stakes are even higher because you can't pick and choose. You have to get it all. And so instead of saying DLC1's the most important and it's only $15, we're now saying
now it's the
DLC1 is the most
to buy the
important
pass.
because it has to sell a $50 pass.
Yeah, it's your preview for the pass.
It is $50, right?
It's your first look. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's like it's like $40 or $50. I'm pretty sure it's like pretty damn expensive.
And it's your first taste of that pass, so it's the selling point for the Zombies fan is the selling point for the season pass.
Yep.
So it's like it has to be like I'm very much confused. I think it's gonna. I unfortunately think it is. If the whole like maybe I'm wrong. Maybe tomorrow they have like a video where they explain like everything I wanted. Where like it's like a direct communication video. Yeah. It's like all this stuff. That'd be great.
But that's the thing is I've been feeling that way literally since I made my very first video talking about the problems. I've been like,
don't set your guys self up for disappointment.
Right, but it's like I've been sitting here like they could literally fix all of these issues with one proper update, explaining what's been going on, talking about everything, getting it all like addressed, and then moving forward positively from that day forward. I've been hoping for that since it must have been October 24th or something, and we're in December now. Like, brother. Please, like Treyarch, just give me a bone to work with.
For me, it was like I have been fine for the most part, and I really wanted that to happen. But like my biggest thing I've been preaching on my channel is they need to do it for DLC1 and get that home run for DLC1. So like if it's not now, do it for DLC1. And now that might not happen for DLC1, and instead we're just getting a map and maybe I mean I think we're getting a stream, right? Aren't we getting a stream from Treyarch at some point? Tomorrow, or am I wrong about that?
Tomorrow, I think so. Yeah, I think
so. Maybe there's a chance this could be what I'm wanting, but
this is the thing, right? This is the thing. When we were talking about Destiny before, please bear in mind, chat, that the fact that we're talking about Destiny actually in this case doesn't include the game Destiny at all, right? All it includes is...
no, I'm not even talking about the game. The game could be a freaking pixel game.
Let me just make this point real quick. So, like, taking the word Destiny away, the point that we're making there is that it was a community that was unhappy with the game that they loved, right? That's the scenario that we're referring to. And for many people in the Zombies community, that format, that frame of community and game has been matched with Black Ops 4. And the thing that they did in Black Ops 4 in that game, we don't even need to say Destiny, we're just in that game, the way that they turned it around and turned it into an experience that community now loves is A, they asked them for more money, which admittedly people are not happy with, and that is an important point to note. They didn't get it all right. But B, the key thing is that they restructured the entirety of the way they communicated everything. Completely. There was a huge shift in the way that they looked at their community and told them information. And Treyarch needs to learn from that scenario and do the same thing in that Zombies has always been, it's been the unloved third child, right? It's been the mode that has been kind of pushed to the side for good reasons in some years, because it's meant to be kind of the secretive one and stuff. But as things have progressed and it's become more mainstream, that approach no longer fits, okay? It's an outdated technique that is just not applicable now, okay? And what we really need to see is that same restructuring of communication and of generally every single point of contact that we have with the developers and with the studio, so that when there's an issue, there's actually a response. And if I say something, like if I've got some problem with the game, if I had a person that I could tweet to and be like, hey, this is an issue, it needs to be fixed, I would at least feel like it was going somewhere, right? I would at least feel like there was someone listening. But as of right now, there are developers on Twitter, but they're all pretty much scared to talk about the game. Like, you very rarely see any of the devs actually talking about development work, and that's like that's not like something that I'm blaming them for. I'm saying that it's a culture thing. It's a decision that Activision and Treyarch have made, that they don't talk about those sorts of things publicly. And you compare it to plenty of other studios. You compare it to Bungie. You compare it to Epic Games with Fortnite. You compare it to even EA with Battlefield. And they're talking about changes that they've made to try and keep people engaged. Battlefield had a really, really rough reception this year. People were very angry at the game. And so the devs started tweeting out more about the development that they were doing, and while it didn't completely save that game, it did give people a feeling that they were being listened to, and it gave people a feeling that the devs were actual human beings that they could talk to and improve the game by having discussions with. Whereas right now, we're shouting into the abyss. It's like I'm standing on this bridge here in game, I'm just yelling at these statues. I'm screaming, I'm like, hey Danu, please, fix the game. And it feels like nothing's happening. And then, when we eventually do get a community update, and when I shout into that void, the response that we got, and the problem with the response that we got, I think, is that it was still the cookie cutter, we're listening, we're going to communicate more, and things along those lines. But as of yet, we have not seen any evidence really to kind of show more than just blue screens being fixed in the game. Like, blue screens have been fixed, and that's great, but the game's been out for 2 months, and as far as communication goes, hasn't changed. It just hasn't, right? And that was the difference they made with Destiny. That's a difference that they've made with other games where they've had rough receptions and they've turned it around and got their community back. But COD hasn't learned that lesson yet, and they still just haven't figured out how to talk to their zombies fan base.
You want me to give you a really good example of somebody that's like outside of all this?
Yeah, like go for it.
Okay, you know my buddy DC?
Yes, actually, let me just pause you to read donos real quick, if that's okay.
Okay, yes. Always pause them when I talk.
Bro, it's because I know you're gonna be going for a while, so I gotta let you ramp up. All right, just 2 seconds. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry. Let me get to those donos real quick, because I know I keep going in like little chunks. I know I keep sort of separating it out, but it's got to be done. Oh, I gotta stretch my back as well. Holy smoke. So we got to Guan, Dr. Monty, and Dark Gaming. Mr. Unleashed, hey, with that resub. Oof, over a 1.5 years of Twitch subscription. Thank you, brother. William said, as bad as Destiny 2's been, they communicate well. I have to agree, William. I have to agree. Goofy became a member. Welcome, Goofy. Thank you for becoming a member on the channel. We also had Dr. Oddy saying, would you be interested in making D2 videos? I've got some coming soon, Dr. Oddy, don't you worry. Monty says, I hope they're cooking up a trailer right now. Monty, the trailer's coming tomorrow, brother. They've confirmed that. William says they should copy the roadmap idea. Yes, let's talk about that in a minute, actually. That's a really good idea. Do I think this hurts the ending to the Ether story? Personally, no. I think that it's going to be fine for Ether, but I guess that's sort of just a subject of opinion. Multi-Blue says, do you think when we get to the Great War, there'll be OG perks? Probably. They'll probably do something like that just to give us the nostalgia kick. I think that's quite likely. Alfie says, is this DLC1 or just a DLC? It's DLC1. Flutton with a 20. Thank you, Flutton. Jack became a member. Welcome to the channel, Jack. And Cartel says, it's extremely disappointing, man. Why on earth are they still releasing DLCs on Tuesdays? I think that's just because that's the way that Sony do it. Okay, so I'm going to jump back in with JC now. Hey, brother.
Okay. What I was going to say is basically DC is like a perfect example of why... Hi, guys. Of like what we're talking about.
So give the stream some context real quick. So like yeah. DC is a friend of JC's. And
DC's my roommate, essentially.
Yeah. Like they're super close friends, but he doesn't play zombies like as much as JC does, essentially, right?
Right. He's been a fan since World at War. but he's not like super into it as much anymore, but he'll play it like on launch and stuff and have fun with the game and try to have fun with it.
Yep.
All right. So he doesn't like follow it as closely. He since launch, he knows like all the, like he realized all the problems that happen at launch, and it turned him away from the game. But like my point with this is, no matter how many patch notes tweets we have of like blue screen stability, DC's already turned away.
Right. Yeah.
There needs to be something that's like a definitive, hey, this is a turning point. And because like that basically what I'm saying is there needs to be something bigger that, like, the only people that are reading patch notes are the hardcore people.
Yeah. It's us.
Like the casual players are not reading the patch notes. Like in terms of zombies fixes, like no one is going in there going, oh, okay, they solved this fix and this fix and this fix. It's like, it's literally just hardcore players. And the biggest problem is turning away like everyone. You don't want everybody to be gone, but just the hardcore.
You compare it to, and like, I hate to say it, but you compare it to Destiny 2 again. And one of the really cool differences they've got there is this roadmap that just got brought up in one of my donations as well. The roadmap for Destiny 2, like, that's not a Destiny feature. That's just a design decision that they've made for their advertising campaign, where they basically said, hey, you paid for something, and you paid quite a lot of money. Like, Destiny's an expensive game to get into. You paid quite a lot of money. Here's when you're actually getting that content. And it sounds pretty simple.
It's literally like a content calendar.
Yeah, that's literally what they're calling it.
It is.
Yep. And it's awesome.
And DC's seen that, by the way.
Right? Yep.
Like he's seen it, and he's like granted, he's really busy right now with exams and stuff. I am too, but he's way busier than me because he's not a liberal arts major like that. But he's seen it, and like he's actually had a conversation or two with me about like, wow, that's actually like it looks sick.
Yeah.
Like all the stuff that they're doing is like it you know what I mean? Like it was like a turning point for him, and he was really big into Destiny as well, and he sort of had a falling out with it.
Okay.
Yeah, he loved Destiny. So like he played Destiny way more than me. So, but I'm just saying like that being a definitive like video, he saw it. Like he saw it, and it made him take note of it.
Yep. And like,
I'm just saying like
can
we
you
need
imagine
something like that.
If that was converted, exactly, converted into a Treyarch format, and they did some kind of thing saying, here's when the map's coming out, or if they want it to be a surprise, that's fine, but you've got to have other things. Like, that's a really important detail too. Surprises are great, but when the surprise comes when it feels like there's nothing, like, at all, it means that you get the surprise, but then you're like, well, I still don't know when anything else is happening. Like, factions aren't coming this year, so this DLC could last 5 days, and then we're going to be back to Drought. Like, we just don't know. Right? Go ahead, Chop.
For a surprise to work, you have to kind of earn that surprise. And because they're so like far behind the 8 ball with the community, they haven't really earned that right to do it yet. Do you know what I mean? Like, I hate to, it comes off of it's kind of like judgmental because I don't want to tell them how to run their game, but you know what I'm saying when like they kind of have to earn the right to give us a surprise of content when they're still kind of owing us.
I think the thing that you're getting at is essentially they need to build trust. That's basically it. That's the core, right? Is when they have the trust of the community, the game is in good hands, that there is stuff coming, even if it's not been announced yet. Just when the community is basically on Treyarch's side, then surprises are awesome. They're awesome.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
But as soon as they as soon as the community is not on their side, you have to be more careful with the way that you're marketing your... Oh, I'm gonna die here. You just have to be more careful with the way that you're doing your releases and avoid the kind of risky, surprisey type stuff. Like, you just got to, I feel like. Otherwise, people are gonna get turned away, like you were saying.
That was basically my whole point. That was summed up perfectly.
I want to mention something real quick because I see a lot of people like this is not like kind of maybe a bridge to another topic, but it's like Lex tweeted today basically saying he's like done, right?
Yep.
And like people are drilling into him and acting like he's whining like crazy. They're like, oh, you're just mad that there's no trailer, or you're just mad that there's no this and that because you're like you want to get content out on it early before everybody else. And I'm like, well, first of all, when has Lex ever cared about that? Like ever? Like
People
that
are
man,
delusional, Matt. They're fully delusional.
That man has literally told me himself that he, like, in a lot of regards, he'd rather have his first reaction videos be like actual first reactions from home, and DLC events like are good for him giving feedback, but he like he's not, it's not the best content for him is like early content on that's just not his style. Like, he doesn't do tutorials or anything. Right. So it's just like that whole concept of people getting mad at him for that and saying that he cares about early views on tutorials and everything is like the weirdest thing I've ever seen, because you just haven't been watching Lex for the past 5 years.
Well, but yeah, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
But basically, like, my point with this is that like people are thinking that, like, are basically mad at Lex, and there are other people other than Lex, but Lex is a good example, because a lot of people are saying like, hey, you should be grateful that we're getting we're getting a map, and it's like a big surprise and no one even knows what's going on in it and all this stuff, and it's coming out of nowhere, and like everybody should be grateful and not like being like not trying to find more ways to complain and stuff. But I don't think there's anything wrong with a YouTuber going, what's going on?
Yeah,
when
being
is
annoyed.
this map
It's
coming
like,
out?
what I think a lot of people don't understand and have no appreciation of is that as much as you have the luxury of being in school, like, I'm not talking about you, Jesse, just like a lot of the community have the luxury of being in school. They're young. They can do other things. It's whatever. This is our job. Like, we actually have to do this. We can't just walk away. That is not a thing. And so when the thing that you care about a lot, like, we all clearly care about zombies, otherwise we wouldn't be here at this point. But we care about it a lot, and we also have it like intimately linked to our entire day, every single day, because this is
literally
our
our
jobs.
life, man.
Yeah, you can't just walk away from your job. What the hell? My screen just went black. What? Oh, it's back now. That's weird. Okay, I'm fine. Like, the luxury that you guys have, we do not. And so you need to understand that we're naturally going to get frustrated about things being crap for months, because that means that our entire life, which revolves around this, has like there's a knock-on effect, right? And you can say maybe you care too much. One day you will understand, when you need to pay bills and put food on the table, that you got to care a lot about your job is actually quite important. So, like, I see a huge number of people saying, "Oh, you're just complaining. You're just whining," right? Like, you're just sort of finding reasons to be unhappy. And it's like, what? Why would I do that? Like, what is wrong with just the possibility? What is? Oh, I just died. Wow. What is wrong with giving people the benefit of the doubt to say that maybe it's not that they're just finding reasons to be annoyed, but instead they actually care and they're unhappy and they want it fixed. Dude. Right.
Lex cares so much about the game. Like, people think of him as like a memer, and he's just like saying, like, he'll just say things, like spit them out just for the sake of like likes or something on Twitter or something. I just want to like go on record and defend that man for a bit and just say that that man is like one of the biggest, like I don't even know how to even describe it, but he is so passionate about the game, and he's just because he, like, I don't know. I hate to be like a kiss ass towards Lex or something, but it's like I just there's so much hate in the community for like when basically Lex is tweeting saying, "Oh my God, they're not even marketing this DLC." Like, I'm a YouTuber in this community, and they're not even marketing the DLC potentially, which is like, that is just very scary for anyone who's like covering this mode. Is like, there's like, no matter like your opinion on like whether or not you think that's okay, or like we're too nerdy of people or what, it's like there's people that literally, like, the whole part of the fun for me as a content creator is, I'll be completely real, I have so much fun on the hype train. I think as a player, I have so much fun getting hyped for things. It feels very weird to me that there's a map coming out possibly tomorrow, and I haven't seen a single bit of it.
Possibly
I'm so
tomorrow. The
I'm
fact that we
so
have to say
confused.
that.
like I'm just like I don't know. Like for me, as like I am literally going into marketing as my minor and everything. Like I'm not the know-all person for marketing and all this, but like I just feel like there's something missing that would benefit the game. Like that's what I'm scared of, is I just think there's just no marketing for things.
So one thing I want to inject here just real quick, because I'm seeing some messages in the chat about this. So I saw one person saying, "Wow, you guys are being so condescending," and I then literally a couple messages later saw someone saying, "To make videos and make more money, YouTuber are money hungry." Right? And so
I'm with you.
Yeah, dude, F you for wanting to pay your bills, dude.
Dude,
Screw
like
you,
it's
Could you imagine?
But this is the thing, is like, you got one side of the spectrum of people that are like you're just being condescending, like you're saying you don't understand like what it's like to have a job or whatever. Like maybe you're like a grown adult and you feel like you're being talked down to, right? I can understand that's frustrating. You got to recognize that we're talked down to by like everyone's saying, "Oh, just play another game." I'm seeing that in chat right now. Just play another game. Like we get those messages every single day, and all I'm trying to do here is educate people on the fact who aren't necessarily in the same position that you're in. If you're like completely aware of all the stuff that I'm talking about, that life does not work that way. It just doesn't, and like there's a significant difference between like having a YouTube channel like part-time as something that you just sort of enjoy as a hobby when you're 13 years old, which is what I started with, and what is something now that I rely on to pay my rent and to do all those sorts of things. Like there is a
college
clear
student
difference.
here, by the way.
Shout out
College
to university. Yeah, those loans aren't going to pay themselves, right?
I'm talking about this when I have a final tomorrow.
Yeah.
I totally don't care for the game at all.
It's
like
it's one of those situations where literally if I say I love the game, then I get people saying, "Wow, you're a shill, you're getting paid." Like if I say I like Destiny right now, people say it as well. "You're a shill, guys. You're getting paid to say that. It's all fake, you're lying," etc. If I say I don't like the game, people are saying, "Oh, you're whining, you're a child, like a child, you're a crybaby," etc. So I can't win either way there. And then on top of that as well, if we're talking about the problem in the community with the way that we're all sort of discussing this, and we're talking about the community kind of disruption that's going on right now, people again just say that we're either being condescending on one side or we're being whiny and crybabies and we just play another game on the other. Like, it's a complete catch-22 impossible scenario for everyone, right? So like, just please have some empathy for everyone involved. That would be great.
I just want to say one more thing about that. It's like it's literally not even about, for me at this point, like it's not even about views or anything. Like it's literally I'm just trying to, like when I made a video recently with like feedback. And I structured it in a way of like I just want it to be like positive feedback, like nothing, like I don't want to sit here and rant about the game or anything. I just want to make a video and give ideas on what could help like the community long term. Right? It's like not even like none of the reason why we're talking is not about views or anything like that. It's literally just there is like clear, like there's just clear like ideas that we think could really help the vibe of everyone in the community. And whether or not we're right or not, I mean, that's everybody's opinion, but it's like I don't know. I just it's not like we're sitting here saying, "Hey, I'm not gonna get paid next week because Zombies is dead." It's not even that, because if that was the case right now, then I would be making Fortnite videos.
Yeah, well,
like right
100%.
now, I'd be making Fortnite videos right freaking now, because like it. I'm just straight up like it's not just about, oh, like my channel is in trouble. It's literally no. I really love this game. It's been a part of my life for years and years and years and years. I want to see what's best for it. And here's our ideas on what could be best, and maybe like what we could provide as feedback when certain things like this happen, like a surprise DLC. Like it's just our thoughts on it. So it's like it's not in a sense of like oh,
JC, stop saying like.
We're mad. Oh, am I saying like? Okay. Anyways, it's basically I don't know. I don't know. You just threw up my train of thought.
I'm sorry. It's just you said it like 4 times in a row, and I had to mention it.
All right.
Essentially, I think ultimately go ahead, Chop.
I think basically what he was trying to say is that everybody in this call, and like not even just in this call, all of our friends, really everybody that we can, I can't speak for everybody, but we all care about the game greatly, and we wouldn't be here otherwise. Like we wouldn't be making these discussions if we didn't care about the fate of zombie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I think that's a misconception that most people have, and JC was just trying to break that, to be honest.
I think also
I just
yeah, go ahead.
don't know. It's not a matter of I want to rant about the game. It's not that at all. I really love the developers. I've met a lot of them, and they're really good people.
Yeah, no, 100%.
It's not that at all. It's just ideas that could help the community vibes be better. That's it. I just want to say that. I will stop talking now, chat, because I'm not allowed to say like in 2018.
Well, speaking of like, now's the time for you to like the stream. I had to squeeze that one in there. So, okay, question going forward then, okay? Now that we've had this mess up today, and like, oh, I just said it there. As much as you might disagree with what we're saying about the other things, I think we can all agree that releasing the map in Australia only was a mistake. Yeah, there was an error there, and like, I'm not saying that was intentional. I'm just saying that there was an error there, right? And so going forwards, what do you think the DLC1 map itself could do to keep people engaged, keep them kind of happier with the mode, make them feel like there was more content, and generally keep people with happier vibes, essentially?
JC, you want to take that one, bud? I want to think about that one real quick.
You go ahead, because I can only say one word, apparently.
No, JC, go for it, bro. You got this.
You're allowed to say like again, JC.
You're like.
You've recharged your meter. Yeah, you're all good.
The cooldown's over. Go ahead. I need to think about that one a little bit.
Like, what would better the game going forward?
Well, I just mean
how this could turn around.
Like, if there was one thing that you could ask for in the map that maybe has been done in a previous map before, or maybe it would be unique to this one, that you think would help make it one of like the greatest maps of all time, or that would pull the whole community back, what do you think that feature might be?
I don't know.
Okay. So
I really don't know.
I've got a little bit, I guess. Like,
okay.
For me, what they could do in DLC1 to get people talking about it and like back involved with it is, I think what made DE so popular at the time was the fact that it was such a revolutionary Easter egg and boss fight, right? Like the boss fight was something that we had never experienced before, and really in that capacity. Obviously, there was previous boss fights, but they weren't nearly on that scale. If they did something, doesn't even have to be boss fights, but that is, I guess, equivalent to how that boss fight was different and changed the way that we play zombies and shocked or stunned us in that way. Whatever that is, there's plenty of ways they could do that. But if they were able to execute one of those in that map, similar to the DE boss fight, I suppose, in that way, then people would be talking about it again, maybe interested and try it out for themselves.
Yeah, so...
And then that could like start that off right to go forward in the future maps.
So I guess you're basically saying do something that would be kind of leveling up the gameplay in a way the zombies itself hadn't seen before. So Shadows, exactly. I mean, I don't really want to call Shadows a boss fight. I don't think it's fair on DE to call Shadows a boss, but Shadows we had like an evolution of the Black Ops 2 zombies mode, and then DE came out, and the boss fight was the first time we'd ever had anything like that at all. That was really incredible, right? And I think what you're sort of saying is that same stepping up onto a new level of zombies needs to happen this time with some kind of new thing, and it's hard for us to say what it would be, right? Because like we're not game designers. Who knows where it needs to go? but something in that vein where they can surprise us all with, like, I don't know. I don't know what it would be, but just some kind of feature
that as a jumping board for every other map, right? Like they pulled the boss fight thing, and like in fact, just other studios took that as well. But just the next jump should start to be made here because DLC1 is prime time to do that. And if they have any plans up their sleeve to execute it, now would be the time, is what I'm trying to say.
Right. Yeah. I'm gonna just bear back 2 seconds. I'm gonna read some stuff, and then I want to talk about the that same point. So just hold these thoughts that we've just been talking about for 2 seconds, okay? So guys, first of all, can we get a quick like spike in the chat? I don't want you to like the stream. I want you to like the chat. All right? It's very simple. You just got to write the word like in the chat. How's that sound? All right, we'll get a like spike in the chat right now. And the other thing I wanted to mention is that, as I've said earlier in the stream, this is the last little trailer that I'm going to play. Universal Pictures reached out and they offered to sponsor this stream, and they gave me some trailers to play. So I'm going to show you a trailer for Mortal Engines, which is coming out really soon, actually, on the December 14th date. I'm going to play a quick little... There we go. I'm going to play a quick little trailer for you now, and then we'll get back to the discussion, okay? So I'm gonna roll the video.
Cities arose in the sky, on the seas, and the deadliest ones, the mortal engines, were rebuilt on wheels.
How do we stop London before it destroys us?
We have to shut it down.
Once we go in, there's no going back.
Mortal Engines. See it in IMAX. Rated PG-13.
There you go. So, like I said, you can pick up tickets in the description down below if you guys would like to. Mortal Engines, December 14th. Okay, thank you, Universal Pictures, for sponsoring this stream. I really appreciate that, guys. So, okay, JC. Something that I wanted to ask if you agreed with is the following, okay? Do you think at this point, because essentially this ties in to a comment that I see a lot of people saying, which is, how are people asking for more content when there's 4 maps on disc? Like, how is that possible, right? Like, are you stupid? Of course there's more content than ever before. And so, like, why are people complaining, right? They don't understand. Hi, guys. Do you think that it's possible for a map like maybe a DE, or maybe if we go back further and look at like an Ascension, right? A single 1 map DLC release. Do you think it's possible for that single map to be perceived by the community in the same way now as it was a couple years ago? And what I mean by that is, obviously in the past, we were only ever expecting a certain amount of replayability because we could replay the game a whole load of times. We could make up challenges for ourselves. Like, a DLC map would come out. First we'd do the Easter egg, then we'd make up some challenges. People would investigate the story, etc. Do you think that it's possible for that same kind of loop to just keep going indefinitely for zombies? Or do you think that it's going to have to change in some way in order to keep people's interest?
After JC, I'd also like to take that.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Are you talking after BO4's launch, or
like now? Sure. Yeah. From here on, I guess.
It has to.
Chop,
it has to very much change.
Yeah, you think? Oh, okay. Okay.
I wanted BO4 to change beyond belief.
Okay.
I wish they went further. I wish they went further with the change than what they did. That's always been me, but I've been very much someone who's been like not on the. Most people disagree with me when I say that, I guess.
Okay. So what sort of change would you have been hoping for, do you think?
I wanted there to be something on the game that keeps people coming back multiple times. Something that keeps each play session feeling different.
Yep.
And there is some elements of that in BO4, which I really like, and is definitely in the right direction. And I'm hoping that they go farther with it in the future, but they probably won't now because the community doesn't like change either, and that's a whole nother issue.
Right. Yep.
I am getting depressed the more I'm thinking about this now.
Oh no, brother.
I feel like we're in a loop of, if they do anything different, people are gonna be mad, and then if they do the same old map, that's like, as much as I love Garag Crovey, that map is it's like the 3-lane formula in multiplayer.
Right.
Like,
yeah. It's very.
Treyarch has like a 3-lane formula, and then Zombies has the formula where you have a centerpiece and then outlying areas. 9 has that same formula too, and that's why I really like 9.
Yep.
It's very classic feeling. But I really wanted to see them go outside their comfort zone and do something crazy. I don't even know what it would be. That's the thing, is I just, even if Horizon Drag, like, let's just say Horizon Drag never happened, and we have Horizon Drag coming, like, let's just say it's coming now.
Sure.
Like, that's the DLC for DLC1.
Yep.
Something as insanely awesome as Horizon Drag. I just think because of the fact that we've had zombies so long, and in so many other modes as well, there needs to be something in the game that changes how people, something akin to like Darius came out, Pack-a-Punch revolutionized how we played zombies. Absolutely revolutionized how we played zombies. Ascension came out, absolutely revolutionized how we played zombies from then on out, because then we had an entire main Easter egg hunt on every single map. DE comes out, absolutely revolutionized what Easter egg quests were like to us, because now we had a raid basically with the boss fight at the end. There's always been that thing that has put it up on that next level, and I don't think we can just get a map. I mean, we probably will, but I'm just saying, for the mode to grow even further, if it if we're talking about that, I want to see something like, I think for me it was the calling system, but I've talked on repeat about that for about 6 months. I don't know if I can talk about it anymore, about how crucial that system. Like, to me, that's what it was going to be, was callings and mutations working together to give us infinite ways to play and ways to come back week by week with really hard Nightfall-like challenges.
Okay, Chop, do you want to jump in there, and then I'll follow up on what JC was saying.
So basically, for me, right, the whole original question, if I'm not mistaken, was that people, they look at the 4 maps and they think that's like the most amount of content that we had. And like the way that I look at zombies maps is that you have like you start with an empty sandbox, and then you fill that sandbox up with toys. And now like people's perception or how good or bad a map is depends on how many toys are in that map and how fun those toys are. So like for Shadows, it's a kind of big map, but it's not the largest of scale, but there's so many toys in that map that, same with DE, I think that make them classics. BO4 feels like you have these big sandboxes with not a lot of toys. And I think that's a problem, because it's like they could have either changed development to where there's less maps, but more stuff in each one. And I think that would have helped perception of each map going forward. I just think they spread themselves too thin. So I don't know. I think going forward they should rely less on just maps themselves and instead of focus on content in the map itself.
Right. Okay.
I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I think it's replayability for me. It's just it's got to be something that keeps people, like, that was the thing for me that I really wanted with BO4. And we haven't gotten it to its potential yet. Yeah, I think it's still possible, though. I
guess the key thing, and I'll get to that dono in just a second, guys, because that really threw me off guard. The key thing is, like, in that sandbox analogy, Chop, like, I really like that way of describing it, because it's like, you've got your sandbox, you fill it with toys, and it depends how fun the toys are and how many of the toys there are, which tells you how long you play in the sandbox, right?
Exactly.
And the problem is, in 2018, as much as they've added some cool toys each year, we're still in the same sandbox. And there is therefore, like, there is on the one hand, there's stuff being added, so it's thing being added on one side, but then on the other side, time is eating away at the other end of people's enjoyment of the sandbox because they've been there for so long. And so it's like a constant battle between trying to make something old feel fresh with new stuff, but then the new stuff feels old, and it's like a constant swirling cycle, right?
Yep.
And that's something that I think is a key change that has happened in 2018 because of Fortnite. It's essentially the Fortnite model, whether you like that game or not, it doesn't matter, but that model has changed the gaming industry, right? They have completely changed the way that people, millions and millions of people, perceive gaming as an entire genre beyond Call of Duty, right? And with those changes comes a natural, like even faster burn from time, like I was saying before. And so you end up in a scenario where, yes, we've got 4 maps on launch. Yes, that's more than we had with Black Ops 3, for example. Is it enough? Well, the goalposts of the question have changed because it's not about how many maps there are anymore. It's about whether that is keeping people playing the game for the 3 months that it takes to get to your DLC1. And in this case, with the way that we consume maps right now, we can't just rely on sort of volume of maps. It has to be something else to keep people hooked. It just has to, right?
Or in the sense, you know, we've talked about as well, going with the idea of just having a constant flow of content. If they just had 9 and Blood, I don't know why I couldn't think of Blood, but if they had 9 and Blood as the launch maps, and then let's just say 2 or 3 weeks later,
well, can you imagine if it was 9 and Classified, and then we got Voyage, and then we got Blood, and they were all spaced like 3 weeks apart?
Yeah.
Like, that would have been insane. We would have got Ether and Chaos on launch. That could have been cool. And then they could have introduced Voyage, which would have been like the sort of first surprise. They could have made that a complete surprise. They could have not announced Voyage, and literally after 3 weeks after launch, they could have gone, oh yeah, by the way, here's an extra map. Like, hello. That's when people would be excited about a surprise, right? And then after that, we could have got Blood as DLC1. Yeah.
It would have, because people, I think, looking back on it, the 4 maps thing is I'm sure they want to keep the 4 maps on it because they also didn't have a campaign this year, so it's like they needed more content for the $60 price.
Agreed.
So I get that. So like it's not like, you know, I don't know if there's a scenario where it would have worked in a different way. But that would have been a really cool thing to see. Like, we got so much content at once that we just had a huge drought, and you know, combined with the communication stuff we're talking about, and there's like no one knows what the seasonal plan is or anything like that, or what they're doing. Like, combine all that, if we would have been having maps dropping in between, and just let's just say we started with 9, because 9 is a really good map.
9 is a very solid map for sure.
I feel like 9, no matter what, would be the launch map, because it's by far the best.
Yeah, I agree.
In my opinion. And then after that, I mean, you would have this steady flow of stuff happening, and I don't know. I think that would have worked. I think you guys are absolutely like right with that. Like, I've seen a lot of people mention that. I think we talked about that before, like just in DMs and stuff. That would have been really cool. I don't know if, like, how much better that would have made the season so far, but I think in terms of going after that Fortnite model, that would have been the model to go with for zombies. It's like the way that they weren't doing events in game, then that could have been a way to do. Yeah, you know,
it's all related to the way that we consume the content, and it's changed in 2018. It's no longer the same as it was with Black Ops 3. And so if DE released tomorrow, if we literally had DE release and it was the exact same map, somehow it just made sense with the story, when DE released tomorrow, I genuinely think that it would excite people, yes, and people would like the map, but they wouldn't be playing it a month later. They 100% were playing it a month later in Black Ops 3. Like, people were loving, they were playing DE in like so late.
Yeah.
Years
so
later.
late. Yeah, I mean, even like 6 months ago, there's people playing DE, right? And you just would not have that same reaction if it was released tomorrow, because we consume these maps differently now. That's just the way that is. I've got to really quickly get to...
Times have changed.
Yeah.
Basically.
I've got to really quickly get to donos and then I'll be back. Okay, just 2 seconds. Okay, I know I took a little while to get to you there, brother, but AR-15 Riding Dirty donated $99.99, and I want to just give you a massive thank you. Like, seriously, dude. That's a huge donation. That is a really huge donation, and like, I hope you understand that I didn't want to interrupt that little bit of the flow of the conversation. I wanted to make sure that the point that we were making basically had like kind of come to an end before we got to this. But hi guys, seriously, dude, can we get some Riding Dirties, or just Dirty maybe? Let's go for Riding Dirty. That sounds a bit better. Let's get some Riding Dirties in the chat, please. Like, insanely big donation. I'm really very thankful. Thank you, man. There were some other donations as well from some other folks, and I'm going to get to those as well. I just had to make sure I didn't miss Riding Dirty, who also became a member, so welcome, brother. Thunder Monkey says, can we get a like from everyone? Thank you, Thunder Monkey. I appreciate that love, dude. I appreciate that positivity as well. There's a lot of negative kind of feelings in the community right now, and it genuinely makes my day when people are like positive and being supportive and stuff, genuinely. So thank you for bringing a smile to my face. Toxic Bananas donated. Thank you, Toxic. We already got to Cartel. Thank you, Cartel. Pete said, thank you so much for being a true representative of the people of the zombies community who haven't let Activision mold him into a yes man. I'm just trying to be honest, honestly. Like, I'm not trying to play to any agenda right now. I'm literally just here trying to basically be honest about my opinion about the game that I love, that I care about a lot, and the career that I have that means that I have to care about this game. I have to, right? It's just the nature of things. Ethan with a dono. Thank you, Ethan. Master Wayne became a member. Welcome, Master Wayne. Monty says, do you guys not realize that the complaining the Z crew... Okay, sorry, I misread. Once again, do you guys not realize that the complaining that the Z crew does gets the game fixed in the first place? It literally helps the devs. Yeah, I mean, Jason asks for it. So when people tell me to stop complaining, they're going against what Jason wants? Kind of a bit strange, but so be it. Ian became a member as well. Cheers, Ian. Hey, Shake, how's it going, bud? Is there any indication of when the UK release date is going to be? Tomorrow at some point, but we don't know when. Sorry, bro. And then B-Core says, what's going to Factions going to be? We don't know. They haven't said. They won't communicate about it. They've just said 2019. Easter egg steps that are hard but not tedious you think might help, Richard? Interesting. Basic says, what's my opinion on the intro? I'm not going to be talking about that just yet. I'm going to be talking about spoilers in a little bit. Connor has no desire to play non-ether maps. I think that's a big problem, and I think that that's a problem with, like, launch, I think. The reason that launch was such a mess... Sorry, I think launch being such a mess caused that, basically. I think that people would be more interested if that wasn't the case. Clowns says the map leaked because Sony, not Treyarch. Yeah, it might have been Sony's fault. That is very possible. And then Cody said, hashtag sandbox concept. Wanted to point out Destiny 2 Forsaken's DLC wasn't the first time they did that. They did the same thing in D1. Broken year 1 with a year 2. Yep. Very true, Cody. Very, 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 very true. Okay? Can you imagine saying Milo brown-nosing Jason in 2018 when I've been pooping on his game for the last 2 months? I'm just going to give you a hot ban real quick, because that's one of the most silly things I've read all stream. There you go. Can you imagine saying I'm brown-nosing Jason after all of this? What a joke. Alright, I'm back. Hey guys, how's it going?
Well, yeah.
So, do you wanna get into a little section now and talk about some sort of more slightly spoilery things about the things that people have seen in gameplay and stuff like that?
I'm down.
How spoiler are we talking?
Not like, I'm not gonna be like, this is where the first buildable location is. Like, nothing along those lines. More
I
just...
want to have a genuine reaction to seeing the map for the first time, though.
Right, yeah. Okay, so, I mean... Hi, guys. Maybe we'll let you lead this just to begin with then? Like, what have you already seen? What have you already had spoiled that would be safe to talk about?
I've had the characters spoiled for me and where the map is. And
okay.
What the map is.
So guys, in the stream, if you don't want spoilers, now is the time for you to hit that pause button. and maybe come back to this tomorrow once the map is out. This is your warning, essentially. I just want to pause here real quick and make sure that it's very clear.
If it comes out.
If it comes out, yeah, that's true. If it comes out.
Come on, guys.
Imagine if it just doesn't come out.
No.
No,
I wouldn't put it past them at this point.
Get that out of here.
Yeah. Oh Thank you again, Red and Dirty, and B-Core. So, the characters, JC. What do you think of those characters that are in the DLC? Because it's a celebrity map, right?
Bro, it looks sick.
You think that it's a good cast?
Hi guys.
Yeah. I mean, I'm more focused on the character designs.
Oh, okay.
The
Okay.
celebrity status doesn't matter too much to me.
Yep. Okay, fair.
The actual characters themselves, from what I've been spoiled, because God help me, they look really, really cool. I like the direction of them. It reminds me of Clue.
Oh, cool. Okay.
It reminds me of like a zombies map, but like Clue.
I mean, there is so much potential for that sort of thing as well. Like,
it just sounds cool. I don't know. I like it. I don't mind the fact that it's a chaos storyline map either. I like the chaos storyline.
Mm-hmm. Do you think the like Chaos DLC1? Do you think that is going to help people kind of get used to Chaos as a new branch of things?
If this DLC goes over well, map wise, like if the map is good and like all the things we're talking about like come together, then yes, I think it's okay.
Apparently, sorry to just cut you off just very, very quickly. Apparently, Treyarch tweeted. Did they tweet?
Oh yeah, 40 seconds ago. It's just like an update for the Absolute Zero thing. They said end zombies experience and maybe a surprise or two.
They gave us a time. They gave us a time. Heart eyes in the chat.
Hog.
Okay, so yeah, people in the stream. Sorry to cut you off there, JC.
That's okay.
People in the stream that are wondering why everyone else in the stream is yelling that Treyarch have tweeted. They've just said tomorrow at 12 noon Pacific time. Join members of the team as we just wait. Oh, they didn't give us a time. God damn it! They didn't give us a time.
They did, yeah.
They gave us a time for the stream. They didn't give us a time for the DLC. I mean, I guess that's half the battle.
That means the DLC. Wait, does that mean the DLC is gonna be after?
I don't know.
Wish I could tell you, brother.
I wish they'd said. I thought that they had said tomorrow at 12 noon Pacific time is when we'll release the map, but they didn't. They just said the team will discuss new features coming to Operation Absolute Zero.
Bro, I'm so confused. I am so confused. I have an exam tomorrow. I'm so confused right now. I'm just gonna go take an exam and wonder if a zombies map is up. It's just so weird.
Let me just rephrase my tweet that I sent out because I was like, they gave us a time, and I need to be like,
I'm happy they're doing a live stream though.
Wait,
I'm happy they're doing a live stream. It says Jason's gonna be in that live stream too, which is really good.
Does it?
Yeah, it says featuring Dan Bunting, Jason, and Miles Leslie.
Yeah.
Wait,
and David Wonderhart,
Big
and Craig Houston. Craig Houston's there too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't notice
Jason
that.
and Craig are going to be on a live stream tomorrow, hey, this could be big.
Yeah. It's at least a step forward, lads. This is step one.
I'm just correcting my tweet real quick.
If that comes out after the DLC has already come out, though, that's gonna be so weird. I don't know how it's gonna work.
Yeah, people are gonna be playing the map, and then they're gonna be like, "Hey, surprise! There's a map." Like, That's gonna be a bit strange. Also, that's 8 p.m. UK time, right? Is it 12 o'clock noon Pacific? Yeah, that's 8 p.m. That's 2 hours after normal update time. So maybe the map is coming out before the stream. What's happening? This is the problem. Like, literally, someone at Treyarch right now is sitting in an office and just wrote that out and hit send tweet and could so easily have been like, yeah, also the DLC drops at 10 a.m. Pacific. They could so easily have done that.
I'm so confused right now, man. I'm gonna be real, Chief.
We have to be playing the guessing game, boys.
Because it's zombies.
It's Clue. The new map is Clue. I figured it out.
Yo, let's go back to that, because that was a really cool point. Like, what if the Easter egg is just a whole, like, murder mystery quest?
That would be insane.
That'd be cool as hell, dude. I would love that. I think that'd be really, actually really awesome.
I'm telling you, I am really excited for this DLC. I'm super excited to check it out. I'm just confused on when it's coming out. I just want to know when it's coming out.
Yeah. I think that it's got a lot of like elements that seem to be sort of going in a direction that they haven't taken zombies as well. The idea of first of all, like, obviously Celebrity Cast DLC1, and then just anything in the kind of murder mystery vein, anything with kind of like a haunted housey type thing, things along those lines that have been spoiled at this point.
Hi guys.
Is new. It's fresh, and there's a lot of opportunity there, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, also just read someone saying, I'm getting so much hate right now on Reddit. Why are people so mean? Dude, here's the thing about Reddit. Here's the thing about Reddit, and this is just the way it is. Reddit hates literally everything, right? Reddit literally just trashes every single human being on the planet if they disagree with what Reddit thinks. And that's just the way that things have always been and will always be. And that's not me accusing anyone of anything in particular. That's just the nature of Reddit. It's not zombies. It's not anything. It's Reddit as a website, right? And so yeah, I'm getting a lot of hate on Reddit. That's why I don't read the Reddit. Like, I just don't use it. I used to use it, and then I realized that it was so hateful that there was nothing for me there. I got pushed out of that community. So, like, yes, people hate a lot on Reddit, etc. The solution is just to not go on the Reddit. Just avoid it. Like, if it's a toxic environment that you're not liking the look of, just don't go there. And, like, some people love it there, and that's totally fine. And, like, I'm not saying that you're not allowed to use the website or anything. I'm just saying that it's like for me and for literally every sort of big YouTube and zombies community, you get pooped on if you're a zombies kind of community member on Reddit, because they just hate everything. Don't put Reddit as one person. There's a lot of opinions there. Okay, yeah, that's fair. That is a fair point to add. It's obviously like there is definitely
the negativity's amplified, is what he's trying to say.
Sure. Yeah. It's a unhappy environment for someone like me to be in, so I avoid it. I avoid it at all costs. It's not fun.
I did want to say something about this DLC. I do think regardless of what people think about being a chaos storyline map or not, I just want to point out that celebrity cast maps, usually for the most part, have been some of Treyarch's most experimental maps, which is what I'm basically wanting. Is I'm wanting something to shake up zombies.
That's a good point.
Mob of the Dead shook up zombies and may very well be the best map ever. The original Mob of the Dead. Evil. Shadows of Evil try to do different things as well. Some people didn't like it, but it experimented nevertheless. Call of the Dead had George Romero, which was shaking up the core. Like, it basically shook up camping and zombies, which was a big thing back in the day.
That was the first time as well. There'd never been anything, because obviously that was pre-Moon. And
right. There wasn't a lot of. It was like just a big changer of gameplay and how the game worked, because you had a character you couldn't kill. So they've always been super experimental with those maps. And someone in the chat just said, this is earlier, but I paused it. Jason Deloach said, imagine a game of Clue where the murder suspect changes every time you play, and the ending step is you killing that player.
Ooh.
It'd be like the killing the weasel, or like the Mob of the Dead fight, except it changes every game.
You get it wrong, you failed the Easter egg or something.
Oh, there's JC, so there's a spoiler that
Oh.
No. Just that I'm not gonna say. Could you mute for 30 seconds and I'm gonna say it?
Okay.
Right. Just like count me down to when you're muting. Is he muted now? Okay, basically, is he? He better be muted.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So one of the characters on the map from the leaked intro, which I've watched and I've got like a recorded reaction to. So don't worry, that'll be coming out tomorrow, guys. But one of those characters seems to be evil. Maybe. So we might be playing as a bad guy, which would be very new. Right? That would be a new thing in zombies. So that is like a really, really cool thing that they're doing that I rate a lot. Like, I really, really like that idea of having us play as like a villain. And that fits exactly with what JC's saying about like a murder mystery where you got to figure out who the bad guy is. Except we kind of know the bad guy from the intro, but it's the same sort of thing, right? So, yeah, JC should hopefully come back any second now. Do you want to actually just like tell him in the chat that it's safe? I just wanted to point that little bit out. JC, come back, buddy. Come back, buddy. There you go. Hey, how's it going?
Hey.
So, do we have any closing thoughts that we wanna wrap things up with for our sort of discussion and debate about whether it's been a good thing for them to do this kind of surprise and all that sort of stuff?
I think it remains to be seen 100%.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't know. I have an idea of it, of what it, of my thoughts is I don't want to sound negative, but like I'm scared that not marketing the game is going to be detrimental to it, but I hate saying that.
But I mean, I think that's a fair thing to say. Like, you think that a decision that they've made is gonna hurt it instead of helping it. I don't think that's a bad thing to think, and like that opinion to hold. It just means you disagree, right?
I just think I think the events on BO4 need to be marketed more.
Mm-hmm.
The characters, like Ultimus coming to Blackout, the version 2 of the Chaos storyline characters, all of those could have trailers in their own right to get people excited, but they never do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of the same. I honestly feel like I've been just talking on repeat for the past 6 months of my life with this. I just think that there needs to be clear communication on when things are happening and when events are, and hype for those events to get people excited. And
do you want to just real quick say your hijacked idea, and then Chop, you can jump in with your closing thoughts?
Oh, that I was talking about earlier?
Yeah, I really like that idea, dude. I really like it.
Yeah. So basically, we were talking about how, because Hijack's coming tomorrow to Blackout, which is really cool. I'm super excited for it.
Hell yeah,
Blackout
dude.
fan, I really like it.
Blackout's really fun. Blackout is really fun.
Blackout is awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. But I was saying how cool it would be if, instead of us just finding out kind of last minute, and instead of finding out through like a leak or two, I think there was a leak or something where somebody was behind a poster that was at Treyarch or something.
Oh, that was Neymar. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the way we found out. I was just saying it would have, to have hype for an event, to drive a lot of hype, it would have been really cool if, let's just say 2 weeks ago, on the horizon on the map of Blackout, you could see a boat really, really far in the distance, and then maybe 3 days later, it's a little bit closer, and then 3 days later, it's a little bit closer, and then it's like almost here, and then tomorrow it will be here like officially.
I just think that would have been so cool. Like, it would have been literally a Fortnite Cube style event where people could have actually had the game teasing them that something was coming instead of it just being a poster in the background of a tweet. Like, just
exactly.
It would have been so cool, and it would have been such a small thing, just like a ship getting nearer. Like, come on, dude. People.
I don't even think it. And we're talking about like it doesn't have to be in game for the same time as everybody like Fortnite is, because I don't even know if that's possible to do on BO4.
Right.
I was just saying like maybe every 3 days you just load into the game when they do the new update on the game, and it's just a little bit closer.
Yeah.
That's it.
Literally, like anything like that would have been sick.
Yeah. So stuff like that in the future would be awesome. But I think just overall it's DLC for me, and I'll let Chop talk. I'm sorry. I'm very hopeful that this map is the turnaround point for the community vibes. And that's what I want it to be. And I'm gonna, go into it neutral vibes only.
Yep.
So I've been saying to my streams and stuff lately, just neutral vibes only. We're just gonna go have a good time if we can, see what's going on.
Yep.
And if it's a turnaround point, that's awesome. If not, I don't know. And the truth is, I have no idea right now what is going on anymore. I am so confused. I'm just confused. If there's one word to describe today, is I woke up really late and I was just confused.
You woke up like when everything had already started as well, and you were just like, wait, where am I? Like,
I was like, people are playing the game?
Yeah.
People are playing a zombies map right now? I didn't even know when it was releasing. I was so confused. So if anything, I hope if they're going for the surprise thing, I hope it works out.
Okay,
I really, really hope it works out. It's a big surprise.
So for me, I encourage everybody else to go in with an open mind, like I'm doing tomorrow as well, or whenever we end up playing the map, just because I want to go in and hope for the best. If this is like truly the next step, if this is the DE of BO4, then like Treyarch has done enough in the past to where I'm willing to forgive anything, all this BO4 like nonsense. I'm ready to put that behind me and just go forward with this new stuff they got going on, if it is like truly something special. But again, that remains to be seen. I'm just ready to see what they have to offer, I guess. And if it's great,
you're gonna give it a shot, essentially, right? It's like you'll give it a fair chance, and then sort of we'll see where things go from there, I guess, right?
Yeah, if it's amazing, like I'm just gonna put all the baggage that has come with BO4 thus far behind me and just go forward.
Right, or as much as is possible now with like the memory of it.
Yeah,
sort of that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm basically in the same place where it's like I want to love this game so badly. Like, I want to love the game, and I was so excited for it to come out, and for me, it just hasn't met the expectations that I had just yet. But I'm fully ready for this next piece of content to be the thing that pulls me back in if it's really good. Like, a lot of people give me comments and they're like, you're just finding reasons to complain for the sake of it or whatever. I have no incentive to do that. Like, I want to enjoy the game. I'd much rather be having fun. You know how depressing it is to be sitting here and not enjoying the game that your entire career is based on? Like, depression is real, lads. And the fact of the matter is that if the map tomorrow is amazing, I think we're all going to be very, very relieved to finally be able to say, wow, this is amazing. It's just a question of getting there in the first place and getting there honestly. And it's not going to be able to be a situation where we are like, we get the map, it's like a 50% good, 50% bad one, and then we all pretend that it's perfect and that the problems have gone away. Like, if there are problems, we're gonna have to talk about them, because
it's important to be critical about those.
Yeah, otherwise, like, it's just gonna end up being the same cycle. We're gonna end up still being unhappy and nothing will change. So I'm going in with as open mind as I can. I'm excited to finally be getting a DLC. Like, the day before DLC release date is always really exciting. I'll be streaming it all day. I'll be making guides. I'll be giving it my absolute utmost. I'll be like not sleeping for a week on end just so I can make more videos for you guys. And I mean, hopefully, fingers crossed, if wow, that guy just wrecked me. Yeah, fingers crossed it blows all our expectations out the water and it's fantastic. Like, I really hope that that's the case.
It's possible.
I really hope so. On that note,
I'm looking forward to it.
Apparently there's an update that's just come out. Can any of you guys confirm?
It's probably the armor update for Blackout.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah. So that's a good point. Blackout is getting an update today, so that's probably what that is, guys.
It's like a pre-update, sort of like to prepare.
Right. Yeah.
It's a really good update, by the way. You can repair your armor now.
So
like
what is it exactly that's in there? Just real quick.
It's I think it may have updated the map a little bit in Blackout already. It might have done the seasonal change to the map. Hijack isn't supposed to be there. Hijack's not there yet. But
oh wait, it's not.
No, Hijack's tomorrow.
Oh, but the snow is today, right?
Right, I think so. And then there's a huge update to the systems of Blackout and like sort of fixes for some of the balancing of guns. But the main big thing is you can now repair armor, which is the biggest thing that was needed for people who play aggressive. Pretty much every single person.
Everyone.
So now you can repair armor and you can. It's just going to play a lot better, hopefully. And I'm really excited to check it out. That comes out today.
Do you wanna actually play a bit of that after? Actually, wait. I should probably get some sleep. There's a DLC coming out tomorrow. God damn it! God damn it! What? You got an exam, dude.
I play one.
Yeah, I'll play a game with you.
I've already spent too much time confused.
Okay.
No worries, dude. What's 30 more minutes in a Blackout game?
Right. So, I think I'm gonna wrap the stream up here. I'm just gonna mute real quick, guys. I'll be back in a mo. Just before I wrap things up, guys, any final likes on the stream that you could give would be really massively appreciated. Also, I want to thank once more, the final time, my sponsors for this stream, Universal Pictures. As I said earlier on, December 14th, Mortal Engines adventure movie where towns are on wheels. They go and like eat other towns and then scrap them for parts. And it's this kind of weird tribal thing. It's awesome. There's a book that I read a couple years ago and they've turned it into a movie now. They sponsored the stream very kindly. And those sorts of opportunities are what helps me keep doing this as my job, making videos for you guys, able to talk about these things. Like, that is the security that makes my job possible. So thank you, Universal Pictures. Thank you guys for being in the stream. It's been absolutely hugely appreciated. Oh, Rich Finaholic said, release your merch, please. And I've also just seen someone as well. So you can see the little banner link down below. You can buy tickets down below to Mortal Engines. Someone in the chat just said, who's in it, essentially. I actually have some names written down. Leela George, first of all. Robert Sheehan as well. And then Hugo Weaving. Because it's made by the people that made Lord of the Rings. And Hugo Weaving was obviously in Lord of the Rings. And he was in The Matrix as well, right? You would probably recognize him. I think he was Agent Smith in The Matrix. So he's in it too. So yeah, I saw someone saying that. And then the other question I got was not about Mortal Engines. You've seen it? You've seen it already? Oh, you've seen the trailer. It's good. Yeah, I think it looks, it's the ones that I was playing during the stream earlier today. I think it looks pretty awesome. Can we get more pancakes? But yeah, the last thing I wanted to say, merch, right? In fact, let's go full screen big boy for this one. Merch, all right? So I have a merch design that is now finished. I might, maybe, release it tomorrow. Maybe. Now, if I release it tomorrow, you'll probably get your order either just before Christmas or maybe a little bit after. Hostile Corpse became a member. Welcome to the channel, Hostile Corpse. Thank you for becoming a member and hitting the join button. Hell yeah, dude. But I might release it tomorrow. It depends if it depends on the DLC. I can't say right now because the merch design is a certain thing. Put your guesses in the comments down below. Put your guesses in the comments, guys. My merch design is a certain thing that I think is freaking awesome. I think the design looks super cool, but it's like, it's reliant on something happening in the map tomorrow. So fingers crossed that thing happens. We might still just release it anyway, to be honest. But keep an eye out because I might be doing my merch thing yesterday. We might be releasing my merch tomorrow. I'm not sure if we're going to do t-shirts. I think we're going to just do posters for now. We might do some t-shirts as well, but t-shirts take longer to print and then send out, so it's difficult. But just keep your eye on the stuff happening tomorrow because that's when that's probably going to be happening, okay? So Sam in the chat is like, yo, anyone want to play Shadows real quick? We're going back to BO3, baby. So, oh yeah, put those guesses in the chat, guys. Hey, Lucky, what's up? Drew says Nuketown Zombies could possibly redeem this. Maybe. Nave says, love your videos. Thanks for being the voice of the community. No worries, Nave. Hashtag spoilers, let's go. Hell yeah, Raiden. Rivera says, I was before, but I had to go immediately. How's my back? It's doing a bit better. I need to sleep more, though. It's doing a little bit better now. And then G-Shan also donated as well. Thank you, G-Shan. Lee Ross's wig. Nope, that's not the merch. A pure blue screen poster. Nope, that's not it. No, the update's not out, guys. Not yet. Blue screen t-shirt. It's not that, guys. It's not that. If it's... People were thinking that I was saying the map has to blue screen tomorrow in order for me to release the shirt. It's not a blue screen shirt, guys, although that is a funny idea. That is funny. It's something else. It's something else. I don't think anyone's going to guess it, to be honest. I honestly don't think anyone can guess it. But it's a really, really cool design. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to wrap the stream up here, guys. Thank you for watching. I have been MrRoflWaffles. Please, if you're looking forward to that merch, or if you just like Black Ops 4 Zombies, or if you are a human being, drop a like on the stream right now. Let's get some likes going. And I'll see you guys very soon, probably in about 12 hours time, in fact, for another stream and loads more Zombies content, okay? You are the thread keeping me entertained with Black Ops 4. Really glad to hear that, Hostile. Really, really glad to hear that. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Really do appreciate it. Let's get 3K likes. Can we get 3K likes? Can we do it? Can we get 3K likes, guys? We're so close. You just gotta push it up a little bit higher. Just drop that like button real quick. Just elbow drop the like button real fast, and we'll be fine. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap things up there, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. See you in 12 hours. DLC1 stream on my channel tomorrow. See you there. Or you'll be square.